Do you have a cocktail?
I do. Margarita.
Does it have a salt rim?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, keeping it classy.
Chili salt rim.
Yeah, we just got back from
Oh,
LA and we've been on a, he's been making spicy margaritas every day. It's been great.
Yeah.
God, I'm so jealous. All right, welcome to Bothering the Band. Today is a very special day. We have drug couple in the house, Miles and Becca. Give it up. Thank you guys so much for being here. How's it going? How's your margarita Sunday?
It's good. Thanks for having us, Ryan.
Yeah.
Everything's good. Like we said, we just got back from LA.
How was that?
It was good. It's a long postponed trip. I am fully vaccinated. She is not.
I got my first shot on 2 days ago.
Yeah.
How do you
It's a
feel?
little more stressful for her than for me traveling on a plane.
I don't doubt it. Becca, how do you feel? Are you feeling any side effects?
My arm was very, very, very sore yesterday. But besides that, it's been fine. But it was like it was kind of intense. I couldn't really lift it at all.
But nothing like no like exhaustion or anything like that.
No,
Yeah, you felt a little weird the first day.
felt a little weird, but we had also been traveling all day the day before and the time change, so I couldn't really place whether it was.
Well, hopefully you don't get COVID arm. My mom, like 8 days after she got her shot, like a giant tennis ball sized lump on the side of her arm, which is apparently a super rare condition called COVID arm. It's like in 0.08% of the test group, which I don't know.
Is she okay?
Yeah, no, she's fine.
Oh my God. I didn't mean to laugh right there. I just never heard of that.
Well, to be fair, it was delivered in a somewhat laugh-ready style.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you were receiving all the emotional cues that it was okay to laugh.
Okay, fair enough. So as New Yorkers, I have to ask, how is LA, like in your heart of hearts?
Well, I was actually born in LA.
Really? I thought it was Oregon. No?
I was born in LA. We moved up to Oregon when I was 8.
Okay.
And then I was there until I came to New York when I was 17. So in my early life, I had a pretty even split from being born down there to moving up to
You have
Oregon.
such a New York vibe.
I've lived here for the majority of my life. I've lived here this is my 21st year.
Oh, wow.
And like I said, so it was 8, 9, and then 21. So.
Yeah, and I was born in Vermont and grew up in Vermont. So whenever we go to California, it's just kind of like, I just feel like I don't understand. I don't understand that it's like that all the time.
Yeah. Were you driving there? I always find driving.
No, we flew.
No, like when you were there, we were driving around.
Oh yeah, we did some driving. I love driving in LA.
No, it's terrifying.
People drive super fast on the freeway, packed super tightly together, but
yeah.
My dad stayed in LA until I was like 30. So
wow. I have a love-hate with LA, so that's why I was asking.
It's a nice place to visit.
Okay, I got to get this out of the way. What's it like making music and playing music with your significant other? And
it's super cool.
Do you guys ever fight about like riffs or chord progression?
No.
We don't really tend to fight about, music sometimes stuff. There might be a thing that I'm feeling attached to and that he disagrees, but we usually work it out.
We rarely have disagreements on direction or idea or value of things. Sometimes we'll have to like talk something out.
Yeah.
But sometimes, we've been working for a long time, tired, I can get a little snippy in the studio, and I don't always, keep the pure professional level that I might in other settings. If say the bass part isn't working and I feel like something's wrong, I might get a little huffy because I'm in a band with my partner, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're just a little snippy.
Yeah.
It's the people we love the most that get the worst of us.
Yeah, but in general, I mean, when it comes to collaborating musically, that comes really naturally to us. That's how we first got to know each other, was working on music together. And so it still tends to be something that when we get in the zone feels very magical and easy, and we're really grateful for it.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Are you guys putting down everything yourselves? Like guitar, drums, bass, everything?
We have a drummer,
We have a drummer, Greg.
and we had a couple people come play on the record that we've been working on right now.
Yeah, we're working on a new record. We started, so on March 13th of last year,
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, we had driven up to Vermont for what was supposed to be like a long wedding planning weekend.
Mhm.
And while we were there, like, you know, things had been building up in New York, and then like 2 days into our stay, everything got shut down. And we were just like, well, let's go grab all of the recording stuff from Brooklyn and take it up to Vermont. And we bought a tape machine. My partner at work convinced me to buy a tape machine, and we had a fit of inspiration when we just recorded a new record up in Vermont during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And it's so like Greg came up and played drums for a couple weeks, did some kayaking. And then when we came back down here in September, we had our buddy Travis come put like pedal steel on it. Buddy Danny played a little bit of piano.
And saxophone.
Oh, and saxophone.
I mean, how could you forget the sax?
Well, I haven't mixed that. I haven't been working on that song.
But yeah, a lot of, everything else in our other records were a little different too. It was just us and then Greg playing drums.
Yeah.
Miles does all the production and any sort of additional instrumentation on our last EPs was us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do a lot of overdubs, but yeah, we record and mix and do everything ourselves.
That's rad, man. Okay, so if you were a carpenter, what would you build? Let's start with Becca on this one.
Oh man. Well, let me just preface this by saying Miles sort of actually is a carpenter. Like he's actually like a really talented woodworker as well. So he builds a lot of stuff for us.
Okay.
This is less hypothetical.
Yes.
So it's an autobiographical song.
It's an autobiographical cover.
Yeah, it seemed applicable. It was an applicable song.
I would probably build a table. I would probably build a nice dining room table because it seems pretty straightforward. I feel like I could handle it. And you just get a nice piece of wood, put some wipe on poly and some stain on there. I get it.
Go with the table. Is there a table in front of you right now?
There is, yeah.
There it is.
Nice little coffee table. Miles, what are we building? What are you working on? Let's go a different route.
Well, I would
Anything?
build a home, a whole home from the ground up. I'm taking the hypothetical, like this is, I have all the time and resources I need, then that's what I would like to build. That seems fascinating and satisfying to just do a whole singular vision home.
And then she can add the table and bring it all together.
Unfortunately, all the tables will already be incorporated into the design. They'll already be built in. There probably won't be any room for your table.
Oh,
Built-in tables.
Yeah, we can keep it in the garage or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
maybe I can have a second home for my table.
I'm not building it.
What's the last drug you took?
Pot.
Weed.
Very excited that.
We do weed, man. Both of us.
Love it.
We do it.
Well, we were just in California, and for a while now, when we've been going to California, there's like that novelty of being able to go buy legal weed. And while we were there this time, weed got legalized in New York while we were in California. So.
Do you know what's going on with that? Like, is it next year? Like, what?
It's legal now. Overnight, it became legal to possess up to 3 ounces of
Wow,
in New York State.
that's fascinating. Of course, I'm not there when it's legal. So
Where are you?
I'm in Florida, and Abby, the producer, is in Wyoming. I lived in New York.
Geographical triangle here.
Yeah, we got ourselves a little thing. It's geographical. I can't even say that. Which Disney, this is my favorite question. Which Disney villain would you want to be?
Disney villain.
I don't feel like we have that much Disney.
Oh, no, I bet it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
probably Scar.
Oh,
He's a real bad
I thought Scar was a
villain.
badass.
that dude.
I saw
Murders his brother.
Lion King opening week in a theater in Pasadena, and I was super hyped for it. And you know, the score is amazing. Original Lion King, you know, and I was clearly team Simba or whatever. A lot of joy, a lot of good songs, but I felt Scar's pain. Like I feel like Scar's motivations and stances in The Lion King are super justifiable. Like Scar, I'm like, yeah, fuck you, Simba, boy king. And it's so easy, so fucking easy. So I guess if I was Scar in real life, I would have just murked him even earlier. Just get the problem out of the way.
Cool.
And Simba. I like the warthog though. I like the sidekicks.
Pumbaa or Simone.
Pumbaa.
I only know them as a duo. I don't
They're
know
very
which one is
stupid,
which.
but they have.
I don't think so.
Don't they lead Hakuna Matata too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so they were like serious star power there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Simba's really kind of a tag along. I'm gonna reverse my earlier stance that I was possibly team Simba. I'm not. I'm firmly anti-Simba.
Yeah,
I wish
Simba's
that he'd
kind
been
of a little
killed.
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nala, she's cool.
Nala's hella cool.
She's tough.
Yeah. Nala's fucking solid.
Yeah. Okay, this has given me a lot of time to think about my answer.
I could tell you're like, what am I gonna choose? I wouldn't talk till
I feel like probably Ursula.
Oh, okay.
Again, I think maybe she's a little misunderstood, you know? Like she's just down there doing her thing. First of all, she gets to live underwater, which sounds great. I'm into it. She also is like pretty, if I remember correctly, she's pretty straightforward about what she's offering. She's like, I'll give you legs. You have to give me your voice. And
Sure.
Ariel's like, okay, sure. So like,
I don't know.
you know,
Yeah.
she puts it all on the table.
I feel like it's like limited upside though to be her. Cause it's like,
Like
yeah,
you're a sea witch.
yeah.
Why does she want the voice? Did they ever explain that? Like,
It's an asset. It's you know,
Yeah.
it's just
She
it's
trades
collateral.
in, yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Like, I don't know what the market is for mermaid voices, but I'm sure that it's like not insignificant, you know?
I'm
Yeah.
getting a call on my earpiece. It's a high market. It's a very high market.
Yeah.
Mermaid voices.
But then, you know, the pandemic's been great for it. People have a lot of disposable income, just a lot of STEMI checks sitting there, just really inflated the mermaid voice market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so who does how do the chores get done in your home?
Mm.
It was
Let's talk
funny.
about
He started asking that. I was like, is he going to ask about that? I was like, no, he's going to ask about chores. I was like,
now that we got the music and the Disney villains out of the way, who cleans the bathroom?
Now the domestic things. Well,
our domestic roles have been in flux throughout the course of
True.
our relationship, and I would imagine will largely remain so, depending on what everyone's schedule looks like.
yeah, but like, you know, not to be too like, we have equal divisions of labor, but like we really tend to, you know, it's not like either one of us is doing that much more. How do I put this? We sort of divide and conquer. So
Let me give you a more straightforward and honest explanation. When I met Becca, she was an absolute slob, just pig slob.
It's true.
Horrifying filth.
Okay, that he might
Horrifying
be
film.
a little bit, but I was very messy when we met. And he was like, listen, you don't have to live like this. There's a better way. Join me in the land of the clean and the noble. And
There's a pivotal moment
Over
early
time.
on with me with either roommates or romantic partners where if you're an unclean person, I can roll with that as long as your reaction to being confronted with that is like, yes, I am wrong. I'm not living the right way.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I knew that I could be better.
If you're gonna be like, it's a sign of genius, they say, to be super dirty. I'm like, no, don't come at me with that energy. I'm not. That's
So he used to do a lot more of the cleaning.
Yeah.
But then over time, now I have come to also really appreciate being clean. And now I'm very clean. And I do a lot of cleaning.
Yes.
I also do most of the cooking, but now it's grill season. So when grill season comes in, you step up in the cooking arena. But I love to cook, so I cook a lot. And then like with laundry, you do the laundry, I fold the laundry.
That's a good compromise because I hate folding. I hate the folding.
Love folding. Love folding.
She's also an excellent folder, and part of it is that I cannot fold to her satisfaction.
Yeah, I can't watch him fold a t-shirt. It hurts my soul to watch him fold a t-shirt.
And I don't think that she knows how to apply proper care and temperature when doing the laundry. So it ends up working
So basically, our equitable division of labor is based on our lack
mutual
of
disdain.
Faith in each other's.
It's a good give and take.
Yeah.
I only wear t-shirts, can't fold t-shirts.
Oh.
I'm 38 years old.
You could certainly say that some of us are giving, some of us are taking. That would be an accurate way of.
Folding t-shirts, bringing that order, because again, I used to be very messy, but I'm a little bit of a person where I think I was messy because there's a part of me that's like, well, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
You're messy because your family is
My family's very messy. So then once I became clean, I definitely had this, like, there's a switch now where now I'm like, I'm pretty anal about things being a certain way. And the folding of the t-shirts, it just brings a sense of order and calm, and you just get them all just in perfect little squares, and they're all warm.
In a world beset by madness, who doesn't want a nicely folded t-shirt?
Becca, have you ever worked retail, like a t-shirt place? You know that plastic thing that they use?
Oh, I didn't use one of those.
Yeah, folding board. I thought it was.
I did work retail, and had to go around edging things on, that's what it's called, on hangers, where you have to get it perfectly and straightening. So yeah.
Let's go back to you being messy. Were you messy, like just like throwing clothes, or was it like food and hair and shit?
He's gonna lie to
all three of those things. No.
Hair,
no.
Yes. Hair.
First of all, it's a studio apartment.
I believe I was asked the question.
No.
It was directed at me.
I think that we should have some truth there.
Okay. I was very messy specifically with clothes. Clothes everywhere, definitely.
What about the food?
There was not food.
So in the living area, bed area, it was the clothes. In the kitchen, it was the food.
Maybe some dirty dishes.
And in the bathroom, it was the hair.
It was the hair. So a little bit of everything.
So
listen, I'll say this. I lived with, I was like definitely the messy roommate when I had roommates. Like I lived with 3, friends in a house in college, and I tried to be better, and they were all very clean. And I had like a roommate who would like stand behind me while I washed dishes and then like smell spoons when they were done to make sure they were clean. So I was,
that's fucking weird.
Yes, it was weird. But so I would say I was a slob, and now I'm not. I'm a reformed slob. I'm very clean now. I promise everybody.
Well, your apartment looks great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Did you clean before this? Did you set it up, or you're like, fuck it?
No, the very thin area that you can see doesn't really have much to clean.
Well, I like the macrame. That's cool. High ceilings. Way to go. That's the most adult thing I've ever said.
Yeah, the ceilings were the closer.
All right, so I have to ask this pertaining to one of the lyrics in your song. Which first lady do you think gives the best hand jobs?
Oh, I don't know. That was kind of just a throwaway line based on something that my dad used to take great pleasure in telling me. He would always be like, they used to say about Nancy Reagan, she gave the best head in Hollywood. it's told me that, like, it's some like Hollywood factoid from my dad's deep into like nonfiction and like
As most dads are.
left of center nonfiction, about things just below the surface. And this is something that he apparently encountered a lot and took and takes great delight in telling me. Although now, 30 plus years into me hearing this, I'm often like, yeah, I know she gave the best head in Hollywood.
I'll say, I don't think we're in the business of ranking.
Yeah. No one knows what goes on in a marriage,
Yeah.
There's only 2 to 12 people in that bedroom. And but I feel like that people are entitled to their privacy. So I'm not going to speculate too much on the sex lives of public figures.
Fair enough. I think that was a very noble answer. So thank you. I appreciate that. Have you ever seen a ghost?
Well,
I
don't know about seeing a ghost.
Hearing, feeling?
I was taught very much by the same father I was just mentioning that ghosts are very much real, very much believes that ghosts are real. And I don't know where my beliefs currently fall on the spectrum of ghosts are real to ghosts are not real. But when you have like parenting that like very much like ghosts are real, my dad was also like friends with a bunch of like TV ghost hunters in the 90s when that was a booming industry. And I like very much felt that ghosts were real, that we lived in a haunted house in the hills briefly for one summer in LA where everyone had these bizarre paranormal experiences. It was spooky as hell. And then when we started hanging out in Vermont, I couldn't tell whether or not there were ghosts. And I was like, it's so weird. I feel like maybe there's ghosts out here, but it's just the woods. Why would there be ghosts? Then I find out that all of the woods in Vermont where her family lives, it used to be 70% farmland, 30% woods, and now it's like 70% woods, 30%. So all of the woods are just old, abandoned farms and cellars and just dead people who probably had very terrible lives.
Yeah, I feel like those woods are rich with spirits.
Yes.
I'm not sure I've ever had whatever. I did some, some mild Ouija boarding as a youngster who hasn't. Had some spooky experiences, but I would not say that I've ever seen a ghost. And in terms of are ghosts real? Are ghosts not real? Where do I fall on that? I think I'm agnostic.
Also, for the record, that lyric was inspired by something that her little nephew said.
Yeah, that actually the whole.
Can you elaborate
on that song?
Toby was their since deceased very old dog.
Chocolate Lab.
Very
and he was like, there's just this cute video that we got sent of when my nephew was like 4, running around the house going, Toby, 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 why she meet the ghost? And we were like, this is
profound,
so profound and brilliant. We should turn it into a song lyric. So we did. Yeah. So we stole that from
steal his intellectual property.
Yeah.
And we did.
Take it.
Sorry, Sebastian, it's a jungle out here. Love you, little dude.
Okay, we'll interview Sebastian one day. We also have to interview your dad, Miles, because he sounds very fascinating.
Very entertaining.
Wow, I bet. Jeez. When's the last time you went to McDonald's?
Very recently.
I can tell you the exact date. It was March 25th at around 10 a.m. on our way
to the airport.
Yeah.
What did you order?
2 egg McMuffins, 3 hash browns.
No, well, you had 2 egg McMuffins. I had 1 egg McMuffin. So 3 egg McMuffins total, 3 hash browns, 2 OJs, 2 coffees.
I got 2 egg McMuffins.
Yeah.
I have to say, you guys should have a reality show. You're very entertaining. In a wholesome like Osborne. Remember the Osbournes, like that kind of way? It's like wholesome and they get in a pickle.
I also was once on a plane with this guy who seemed super douchey. He had like long dyed hair, this weird Cobain look. It's like super short, but he was just like putting on all these rock star airs the whole time. I was like, what is the deal with this guy? Anyways, I land at LAX. He gets out and there's like a camera crew there, and it was the dude, he was the lead singer of that band, The Used, and he was
Oh yeah.
Osborne, and they were like filming him arriving in LA and like with all of his gear and stuff, and like Kelly Osbourne was there, and they did like the airport greeting scene. I was like,
I wonder, are you in the background? Did you ever look?
I've never looked. I didn't really watch the show. I think like the first season it was on, I probably watched a little bit, but then I went to art school and stopped watching TV for like 4 years.
You're also pretty, like, again, listen, if there's anybody out there who wants to, you know, make a pitch to us, if the price is right, we you know, I'm not saying no, but you are in general not a huge fan of reality TV. It's trash.
Do you think you could live with cameras like following you?
I do.
No.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy watching reality television, but I would feel very comfortable with that.
I wouldn't. Well, here's the thing. Could I live with cameras actually following me all the time? No, absolutely not. That'd be terrible. But since reality TV is actually not that, and it's very much filmed in specific times, and you have a lot of control over it, sure, maybe.
It's an easy gig.
But if it was like a Big Brother situation and there were just cameras in our house
Yeah.
rolling at all times.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
Nobody wants that.
I feel like if that happened to me, it'd just be a lot of booger picking, like so much booger picking.
Yeah, have to, you know, be like, yeah, I would prefer, I wouldn't notice like cameras that are up all the time. That's eerie. I mean, besides the ones we already have up that are up all the time.
Yeah, and then projecting, you know, live stream images on other parts of the apartment. So I can always see him, you know, if he's in the kitchen, got the stream going in the bedroom, always got my eye on him.
When did you guys get hitched?
August 8th.
2020.
Well, congratulations, late congratulations. This is a dumb question. If you had to get married in a fast food establishment, which one would you choose?
Whew. Wow.
I'm gonna let you take this one.
Yeah.
You're a fast food connoisseur.
I know.
I'm
You know,
very much not.
it's hard because a wedding can be an expression of a relationship, in which case Shake Shack would probably be the default because it's been such a big part of our lives together. But
Had it yesterday.
we're gonna have our second wedding this summer. We had a very small one, or we're doing a big one this summer on the East Coast. And the idea of doing in and out seems appealing to me because it puts us on the West Coast, which is a lot easier for some of my friends and family to get to. And it just seems nice, maybe an outdoor thing at an in and out with outdoor seating is.
You should have it catered by In and Out.
Yeah. But I would honestly need probably a few more weeks to think about an answer to that question, because I think it's like important and also meaningful to me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Miles said, we got married last summer. We postponed the big wedding because of COVID, and we had like a very small, like just our very closest friends and family. And then this year, July 4th weekend, we're going big party.
That's not an open invite,
Yeah.
by the way.
No.
People, her mom's been sending a lot of communication to people that specifically mentions the wedding date and hope you'll be around. And I'm like, that sends a very confusing signal. It implies that it's an invite to the wedding.
I'm gonna just send you In and Out, and it's just gonna be really gross in like a manila envelope.
Oh, no, thank you.
I have a registry if you want to get us something. I
Oh,
think that's on there.
What is
Actually, you know what? I'll get you something. Send me your email me the registry. I'm not.
What is the Florida burger chain where you can put whatever you want on the burger?
Hold on.
Is it Whataburger? No, that's not what it's not. It's
I don't know.
oh god, I
Where you
love
can
it.
put whatever you want on it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They've just got tons of options. They had one at JFK.
At JFK?
Uh-huh. It's expanded up to New York.
I'm just gonna, everything you say it right back to you.
BurgerFi or something like that.
Anything on it?
I don't know. Call in if you know what it is.
Yeah,
Don't call in.
man. I can't figure it out.
We are definitely, I feel like the burger. So we had Impossible Burgers last night. We're big burger fans and we had Impossible Burgers and we're gonna, I think try and cut back on the,
That's good.
The beef.
we were just in LA, everybody's vegan
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and we're very much not.
we're very much omnivores. But
This just in, we have no idea what that is that you're talking about. We'll have,
yeah,
I'll
I
Google it
did
later.
some quick Googling and I'm not coming up with anything, so I'm just gonna abandon it. But
Let's abandon it.
Uh,
What's your
I can always.
favorite? Go ahead.
Oh no, nothing. I'm thinking, I can email you the answer or something.
Fair enough. I'm good at changing the
At the top of
subject.
the episode.
What's your favorite sound?
Well, we've just been sitting here listening to the rain all day. Not to be painfully corny, but the rain sounded really nice.
Yeah.
today. No, I don't know.
I would also just say
Hard to rank
generally,
sounds.
yeah, very hard to rank sounds, but just, in a general blanket term, nature sounds. So we mentioned a couple times, but we lived up in Vermont for the better part of this year during the pandemic at my parents' house. We were there for like 7 months out of the year.
3-hour tour.
Yeah. And there are just so many beautiful nature sounds, and we would just periodically be out walking around and like take out the phone and do a
Sound of snow comes to mind.
sound of snow, the
There's,
sound
like,
of
icy snow
the
and
peepers. I love peepers.
Peepers.
So rustling of the leaves and the trees.
What is a peeper? Is it a bird?
the frog.
Oh, okay.
Frog. Believe it or not,
Mhm.
it's a frog. And they come out right around the beginning, end of spring, I would say beginning of summer. The
Yeah.
peepers aren't there right away.
They're wild.
Oh yeah, actually he might have a recording on his phone of what peepers sound like, because like I said, we'd be out and be like, okay, we should grab this and maybe we'll put it in a song, or maybe we'll just keep it for ourselves. You
I
got
like it.
peepers? Oh, this is what peepers sound like.
Okay. Yeah, you should definitely put that into a track. That's how an
Oh,
album
we're-
should start.
We're gonna go up to Vermont
Also
for a month
balloons.
coming up and starting a new record. So we're gonna try and get some more Vermont sounds on the record.
Balloons are also a favorite of mine.
So nature sounds.
Nature sounds.
Miles, you're supposed to say the sound of my wife's voice, by the way.
It is so funny thing. We met Becca's, the band that she was in at the time hired me to record a record for them. And there's this whole, grand falling in love while recording her and listening to her voice and her lyrics and being like, oh my gosh, you're such a cool songwriter. And just in our relationship, I hate people singing joyously for just like enjoyment in their casual lives. Like I work in music, I listen to a lot of singing, I work on people's voices a lot. The sound of casual singing just drives me insane. So
Like you don't like it out of context.
I don't like singing in context. And so
I
every time-
100% agree with you.
I'm just like, please stop.
But I love to sing. I love it. It brings me joy. I love singing in the shower, like singing to myself.
And I'll be like, I can still hear you in there.
I try to keep it to a minimum, unless we're rehearsing or playing or recording or whatever.
It's a thing that both makes me feel like a terrible person, both when I think about it in the abstract and when we relay this to other people. But it's never going to change.
Yeah,
I don't.
because it's also like you said, it's like you were like, I fell in love with your voice
Your
and
voice.
hearing you say this whole thing. Now it's just like, nope, shut it down.
Speaking of singing, I have to ask, and then I'll explain. It's an inside thing with us. Why you guys decided to cover the Shania Twain song?
We love it.
It's a great song. I don't think that there was a why. I think I suggested it just because.
We started out, so we made the record with her band, and then
Mhm.
I was doing a solo record that I never ended up putting out, and
And
like
that
there-
band broke up because it was really dysfunctional and a lot of animosity.
yeah, so then we started like writing songs together and doing covers together, and so a bunch of what we did at first was just covers, which is cool, and also made it feel like we had a sound. When you get into a zone where all of your covers start to sound the same, I feel like that's a positive attribute for
Mhm.
Yeah.
for a songwriting duo.
Yeah,
So-
and it just felt, once we tried it out, it just felt cool, and it felt like,
We ran
You know,
into
it's
the
always a
drum
good
couple
thing.
grinder, and
Exactly.
it came out cool, so we just kind of kept
yeah,
it.
it's always a good thing when you play a cover and
Yeah.
and it sounds like you.
Yeah, we do a ton of covers, and like certain ones just come out as better things than others.
Well,
And
that
that
one
one
was
was great.
surprising and appreciated because that's a song singing out of context. I don't like either, but I do it a lot. And
A lot of people.
Abby can attest, I'll sing that song quite a bit. And it's one of those songs that if you start, the other person will start finishing it.
Mhm.
So
It's a great song. I'll also
a
say
great-
that I felt
looks like you made it.
so good. I felt really good about our cover for a long time. I was like, oh man, it's cool, it's great. It sounds like us. It's not, it's just like a great cover. I love it. And then I remember like returning back, after listening to our version a lot and going back to the original and listening to it and be like, oh shit, that's so good. It's so like the original it's so good. And
It's amazing. It's a great song.
It's like,
Have you played that song live?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh man, I gotta catch that.
we did that at our very first show with Greg.
did we?
That was in the repertoire back then.
Yeah.
Where was it? Where was your first show?
Well, our first show with Greg was at Union Pool.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember? Because we played that
Yeah.
show, and then they
And
followed
then,
us.
oh yeah, then we had the second one at Berlin that didn't really happen.
Horribly mismanaged.
Kind of weird.
Miles, I saw you at Union Pool 2009 or something like that. It was a very fun.
The year I graduated from high school.
Yeah, I've seen you. I've
That
seen
when
you.
we met, 'cause I thought, when did we? Because I feel like there was a point later where we interacted.
Yeah. So, Becca, I'm a poet first and foremost. I publish a few books. I love music. I'm a music geek. Obviously, I can't play for shit, but I think music tells a story, and so I'll make these poems that are just playlists. And I sent you one,
Okay.
but we met I think at Glasslands.
Okay.
But I saw you play a bunch of places, Mercury, Highline.
It's weird because what I was thinking is we just mentioned this venue Berlin, and for some reason all of the dark New York music venues blur together a little bit, so I'm able to transpose interactions that happen in one space to another space just seamlessly. There's no walls in my memory. It's just
Yeah.
a fucking memoir, just changing the location of events, because I'm like, God, I feel like I remember talking to Ryan down there, but
Yeah,
doesn't
we
sound
crossed
that
paths a few times.
Yeah.
And I love your guys' music. So that's why we're like, we just pick our favorite bands. That's why you're here. And speaking of places, what's the best place to hide in Brooklyn?
Hide?
Our apartment.
Yeah, our apartment for sure.
Yeah.
All right, outside of your apartment.
Why would I hide somewhere outside of my apartment? That's an insane question, Ryan. It's literally the bunker.
Well, the question started as best bar to hide at.
I have found this increasingly hard to answer, and possibly it's me as I age, but I don't know. It's like I used to have a favorite bar,
Mhm.
which I hated, but I also knew exactly what to expect. So it's my favorite bar. And like just increasingly, I feel
Well, it's also like,
bars are of a flat quality to me. It doesn't matter. And I would just rather drink at home.
yeah, listen, if the pandemic taught us anything, it's that partying at home
It's a
is
viable
the
lifestyle.
best possible
Yeah.
scenario. Yeah, it's obviously a weird time for that question is we haven't been to a bar in,
Yeah.
a year.
And
I couldn't agree with
hiding
you.
at home.
We've been.
Yeah. I agree that's there's no wrong or right, but that's the right answer. Where do you hope to be and what do you hope to be doing in 2027?
Let me think about this for a second.
Take your time. Looks like we made it. See, you want to jump in right now, don't you?
So badly. Well,
Wasting
we have
away
a
again in
couple,
Margaritaville?
yeah, so there's a couple of alternate scenarios here that
Okay.
where we could be. We definitely want to be, making records forever and just doing that because it's the best thing. But in one scenario, 7 years from now, we have 0 kids, but like 30 dogs. And we're running a dog ranch / rescue.
Yeah, I was thinking closer to like 200 dogs, but we would also be, we'd be doing adoptions, but mainly rescue from,
But you came to me in
kill
earnest, so earnestly one day, like, sweetie, like, what if instead of having kids, we just had like 4 dogs? Like, and we could just have a wonderful.
This one was not
Dog
instead of
life.
kids. This was just me asking you.
No, you're right.
Very
It wasn't
earnestly.
instead of
It's kind of
kids.
like that. So how many kids do you
Yeah,
have?
you're right.
Conversation.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, it's like, honey, I think I realized something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way I was raised, but I really want to have 4 dogs.
Yeah.
How would you feel about that?
And at first I was
I'd love to have a big family.
And at first I was like, 4's too many. 4's too many. We can't have 4 dogs. And then I thought about it a little bit, and I thought about some of the recent experiences we've had in which there were 4 dogs there, like when we were at your aunt's house. And there was 4 dogs of varying sizes. And I sort of thought about it and I reflected, and I was like, oh man, like, I think we could really make this work.
2 little, 1 mid-size, and 1 larger dog, I think is.
How many dogs do you have now?
None.
Well,
that's not true. We have half a dog.
Yeah.
We co-parent Becca's parents' golden doodle.
We feel very much like she is, again, like we said, we lived up there for most of last year, and she was a young dog. Like now she's 2. So when we first started living there, she was like a year and very poorly trained, had not really been trained. She still has some work to do, but we put in a lot of time with her. Miles did a lot of training, walking with her every day. She also definitely became like a little bit of a therapy dog. I feel like, at least for me, during pandemic times, where I like bonded really heavily with her. So
what's the plan? Are you gonna start soon? Are you gonna start trying soon?
We get enough of that from our parents, Ryan.
Are you gonna start trying to have dogs
not
soon?
making this any easier.
As long as they're healthy.
Yeah, that's all I ask for. And even if they're not, we'll love them, we'll love them all.
You have names picked out?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually funny because one of the only names we definitely have picked out is also deleting if we had a girl child.
If we have a girl child name.
It's Charlie.
Yeah, but we also think it's a good name for a dog.
Great name for a dog.
So whichever comes first.
Charlie.
Okay. So when are you getting a dog?
It's tough, man. We don't want to be one of those couples that gets a dog.
Well, here's the thing. Now we're going up in a few weeks to go to Vermont for a month to house and dog sit.
Yeah.
Yes, with the dog. We have a part-time dog.
Part-time dog. And I have no job, but a part-time dog I do have.
You guys are like have the best of. You guys are like aunt and uncle to a dog.
Yeah.
So when the dog's misbehaving, you just give that dog back.
Not
you
true.
would think that.
I am the only one who effectively disciplines the dog, is my belief.
I feel like we've tapped into a lot of things here today. Do you have any enemies?
Many enemies.
Okay.
Not many living, but
all right.
But many enemies. I've had many enemies.
Becca, do you have any enemies?
Definitely. You have many enemies.
It could be anyone. It could be like the lady at Shake Shack who fucks
I
up.
would say yes. I would say that I don't have any like active smoldering. Oh no, that's not true. That's not true.
What are you
I
talking
do
about?
have some
We
small.
want names.
Also, I primarily think of a person also an enemy as a person who has a profoundly like animostic relationship with you,
Yeah.
who you also don't like.
Yeah,
And you've
yeah.
got plenty of that.
No,
There's
no,
plenty
that's
of
what I'm
people
saying.
who
I was
hate
gonna
you.
say
Yeah.
I have. I was gonna say I don't have that many that are active, like boiling, like hatreds. But then I realized I don't think that's true.
Is it mutual? Like Miles is saying, like enemies take two parts. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I'm
that doesn't
thinking,
necessarily
I'm
have to be that
spitballing
way,
here.
but I would say in my case, yes.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm just trying to define enemy.
Because you have a lot of people who you just don't like,
Yeah, but
I'm
they're not necessarily
sure that
my
they're your
enemies.
enemies.
Because like there's, I'll tell a person that I don't like them, especially like if they're in an immediate friend group and we'll have to interact. I just rather establish boundaries. But there's a lot of people in the world. I channel a lot of energy into the friendships I do have. So I also makes me feel willing to.
But you're much more comfortable with that than I am. You're much more comfortable with just not liking somebody and being like,
Telling them that I don't like them.
yeah, and then also if you're just less yeah, I'm less you're
just
less
more authentic.
conflict averse than me. I'm more conflict averse.
Yeah, I'm more honest and more authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in mixed company and there's just one person there that rubs you the wrong way, you'll just tell them. Do you do it before you leave, or you're just like?
I'm not just gonna like shout across the table with a person. It's more like if something's going on, someone keeps on saying things that I find, idiotic. If at some point later we're brought into closer communication and they start jawing at me as if I might agree with them, I'll be like, we're not. We don't have a thing.
But he does it in a really weird, tactful way where you almost can't tell.
Is it tactful?
I think it is tactful.
I think that just it's
no, because you'll sort of be like, but then they'll sort of like there will be situations where that could happen and someone's like, yeah, man. And you're like, no, I really don't like
very
it.
much do not like you.
And people think you're joking. Maybe?
Pretty much everything you've said and done this evening has been inane, aggravating.
I do think that it's tactful.
Yeah.
I want to do that so bad. I want to go back in time and do it.
There's very little social penalty I found for being honest. People often don't know what to do with it because so much of our socialization teaches us not to be honest. But
yeah,
I feel that people have very little recourse against the truth.
I mean, what else? There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I insist you must like me.
I feel like
everybody likes me.
Last question. Can drug couples score my movie one day?
Sure.
Great. That's on record to everyone here. There's no one here. I'm writing. I have a novel coming out, and the idea is to make it into a movie. And I'm not even blowing smoke up your ass. In my head, I like listen to your music, and I'm like, this fits the story. So
Sweet.
Great. You can use as much of it as you want.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we could even write something for it.
And then we'll get it on Netflix, and we'll all make a ton of money.
Yeah.
Great.
If you let
and
us
then
out
you can
the
get
story,
27
it would
bucks.
take us one step closer to our ambition of just becoming Yo La Tengo.
Yes. And owning 2,800 dogs.
Yeah.
That's a little excessive, don't you think?
I like
a cool.
I'm picking up what you're
200.
putting down, brother.
Cool 200. I like that you want to own, when you're a kid and your parents are like, your dog dies and like, it went to live on a field. You want to have a field.
So here's partially part of what it is I have a long running thing with my mom. My first dog, which was supposedly a crossbreed between a tiny circus dog and like a German Shepherd, Chelsea, as I named her, was out of her mind and clawing through doors. Also probably very poorly trained. My parents were pretty young, and I don't think they had any idea what they were doing with training a dog. but we moved from Pasadena in California up to Eugene, Oregon. And after like 6 months, Chelsea went to go live with a nice old couple at the beach. And seems like such a transparent lie. To this day, my mother will not relent nor acknowledge. I'm trying to remember if I grilled my stepdad about it, my sister's dad, and that maybe that happened. I don't know. Again, my memory, it's just a memoir up there.
That affected you, so you guys want to actually have that lovely place for dogs to live now.
Yeah, and I wouldn't think of it as dog ownership,
I love it.
We're partnering with the dogs.
Farm.
I don't believe that we truly own dogs.
They own us.
It's a symbiotic relationship, They're friends. You're friends with dogs.
Friends with dogs. This week on Friends with Dogs.
Friends with dogs. That'd be
That's a great idea.
That's your
copyright call.
deal.
You dare start a Friends with Dog podcast, Ryan? That was my idea.
But you have to talk really low. This week on Friends with Dogs.
Oh, that's nice. That'll be like an
Friends with
ASMR dog podcast, which
Yeah.
I'm
All right, guys, this is where you give your plugs. Everyone, I'm going to do it first. Everyone listen to Drug Couple. They're a fucking fantastic band. Follow them on Instagram. Just Drug Couple. Just do it. There you go. Your turn.
I think you pretty much covered it.
Yeah.
We're finishing up our first LP right now. Hopefully it'll be out in the next
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah. We're mixing it right now. And I would like to plug just a book I'm reading, The Overstory.
Ooh, great book.
Which is really good.
The Overstory?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to write it down. For real, this is great. This is a lot of fun. I wish you all the best on your second wedding. I hope you get some In-N-Out burgers and puppies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. All our dreams come true.
And that's it. There we go.
Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. Might have took the long